Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, The 7 Subtle Signs That You're Dealing with a Narcissist, according to a psychotherapist. And a shout out to Pete for sending this article. And guys, this whole article, like it says in the title, is written by a female psychotherapist. She's over in the UK, been doing this for like 30 some years. She's a pro. And why am I doing this? Because if there isn't anybody that I don't know who could be better at sharing the reality about female narcissists and the crap they pull, then guess what? Not only a woman, but also someone that is a psychotherapist whose whole career and job and practice is understanding the mind and, let's be honest, being able to mess with people, sadly enough. Essentially, potentially a female Hannibal Lecter. Now, does that mean they're all like that? Of course not, but they certainly are capable of it. And it's best to know to fight fire with fire, if you will. And I might add, and I gotta say this, I'm going to attach the link to this article so you guys can follow along with it when I'm doing it. And when you get to the article, you're going to see what the Miss Psychotherapist looks like. And I'm not going to say anything. I'll let you figure it out for yourselves and decide. But holy cow, that adds to the whole like, oh, good Lord type of thing here. And, well, maybe I will say something. For those of you that are maybe my age in your 40s and had HBO in the 90s and saw that show Tales from the Crypt on HBO, well, I'm not going to say any more. You guys will get what I'm talking about here. So the article starts off, says, a psychotherapist with over 30 years experience in the mental health sector has revealed the 7 signs that someone you're dating is a narcissist. Well, guys, how many stories have I covered where women behave certainly in narcissistic ways? Nowadays, narcissism has become somewhat of a trendy buzzword thrown at anyone who acts a little selfishly. But would you recognize a real narcissist if you ever encountered one on a date? Or be aware that the partner you believed was just thoughtless sometimes actually has a personality disorder? Very good point. And it's amazing how many stories I've covered just like this. I'm sure somebody watching this right now has had a girlfriend or wife that would go into the category and pull the stuff they pull. Narcissism is not just having a big ego. It is said to be an extreme level of self-absorption to an extent that makes a person ignore the needs and feelings of other people around them. Well, holy cow, that sounds a lot like our society right now. Dr. Sarah Davies, a trauma therapist based in Harley Street, explained to Female as previously that while many people have narcissistic tendencies, the key difference between this and having narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is that most people with the former feel remorse when doing something they consider to be wrong. Well, that's called having a fucking conscience. But it seems to me, like some of these stories, none of these motherfuckers feel bad for what they do. Thankfully, London-based psychotherapist and counselor Margaret Ward Martin has revealed the subtle signs that you could be dealing with a narcissist. So we're going to go through the 7 ones she listed. And there's obviously more, but these are big ones you'll see. Number 1, love bombing. Oh, you guys have heard about this one in a lot of the stories I've covered. Margaret said timing is critical. In romantic relationships, narcissists love bomb and rush things. They are charming, seemingly sensitive, caring, seductive, and funny. What's not to like about them? In this early phase, you'll be idealized. Narcissists are superficial and find it tedious to generally get to know someone, and as a result, endeavor to quickly gain access to your life, family, finances, and home. By accelerating this learning about each other's process, they limited the opportunity to expose their true nature and can drop the act much sooner. The narcissist is aware that with nothing to lose, you are more likely to end the relationship, and when finances are combined and children arrive, the chance of ending the relationship lessens because doing so comes at a heavy cost. Narcissists rely on your being less able to leave them. In these circumstances, warn the psychotherapist. Guys, how many times have I covered stories? Maybe this happened to you where a guy meets a gal and she just bombards him, the love bombing, and he is just overwhelmed by it. And you get a guy that's not used to that, he gets roped in so quickly, and she can get what she wants. You need, for any healthy relationship, to take a healthy course of time for things to evolve. Not that just, as you say, it's like a blitzkrieg of freaking love coming down on you, and it ain't healthy. And they also do that crap, and you guys know, when Say there's a problem in the relationship. She's caught cheating, tries to make it up to it. Again, the love bombing to rope him in. It's all a tactic. Another one, making plans without your consent. The counselor added that another subtle sign that you're dealing with a narcissist is that decisions over how you spend your time will be reduced or taken away from you. Well, yes, they're taking over the relationship. She said you may be presented with a schedule for non-working time or expected to change your own arrangements without question. A specific example would be the narcissist making plans without your consent. When they present it to you as a surprise for you, it might leave you confused and questioning, why do you not feel grateful? This accounts to gaslighting yourself, and if you feel something is off, heed the warning. In other words, the narcissists are trying to take over your life and plan your life, their schedule, and God forbid you question anything, you're the bad guy. Because remember, with narcissists, no matter what it is, they're always right and you're always wrong. No accountability, nothing. And your feelings and issues don't matter at all. Sound familiar? Next one, number 3, your social life starts to shrink. Here's a big one that a lot of guys get roped into. Margaret warned that a hostile takeover may be occurring, adding, it looks like something like this. They are so into you and they do not want any time apart from you. As an example, it might be discouraging you from going away for that important weekend with your friends. They'll miss you too much. If you push back, you may be punished with a silent treatment or sulking or an emotional outburst. Or they stop giving you the fun in the bedroom. As this is exhausting, you become less likely to spend time away from just to keep the peace. Your social life starts to shrink. So this is another major one where guy gets involved with a girl, and real quickly, yeah, a girl that likes a guy wants to see him a lot, but this goes to a whole new level. And again, I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced this if you're honest with yourself. When she is trying to distance you from your buddies and the things you enjoy. You know, if you got together with your bros maybe once every couple weeks for bowling or playing pool and beers, well, she doesn't want you to do that. Even though you're spending a lot of time with her, she's still trying to get in the way. You've seen this lots of times. A healthy relationship, the girl's happy you have friends. She wants you to have a life. But this situation, a narcissist wants you all to themselves, to isolate you. And that way then, when they really start their bullshit, you got no place to go. And also, a narcissist will do things to fuck up your friendships. And not just your friendships, but also your family. They want it all about them. And this isn't just your friends. This is also anything else you might like to do. You like going to the gym? Oh, no, they're trying to keep you around. You can work out at home, but you'll never do that. And it goes on and on. Number 4, they track your phone. A psychotherapist who founded the Grace Project in 2021 to raise awareness about emotional and psychological abuse warned against letting a narcissist track your phone. She explained they may say phone tracking is to keep you safe, but it means they always know your location. If your partner doesn't allow tracking on their phone, that is a red flag. Similarly, following or monitoring you on social media might seem fine at first, but watch for criticism about your photos or what you post or outings with your friends. Their intentions will become clear over time as they reveal their true self, insisted the counselor. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I got no problem. Like, for instance, I say, you're in a relationship, guys. Your girl shouldn't be... It's one thing for her to have social media where literally she posts maybe once a month or something, or looks at it to see like what the friends and family are up to, or stuff like that, or a picture on vacation with you, or a picture with the dog. That's one thing. But if she's constantly posting 5 times a day, selfies of her at the gym, and all these things, you get the point. Attention craving, that's a red flag. So I have no problem, guys, obviously paying attention to that and having issue with that. But it sounds here, this is more of a controlling type of thing, which is no good. Another one. Here's a good one. Well, not a good one. Here's an obvious one. They will lie, but think you're at fault. Well, of course, because with a narcissist, everybody's at fault but them. They lie compulsively, claimed Margaret. However, in their mind, what they say is true. For instance, they might withdraw a large amount of money from your joint account without discussing with you. When you confront them, they argue that you are too controlling and the money is theirs. Well, this is why you don't do joint accounts. And by the way, this is why I'm doing this article, because Margaret here really seems to know a lot about these things. They apologize, and out of fear of trauma bonding or desperation, you accept. They generally believe it is all their money, so they don't consider it lying. It's their firm belief that you are at fault. And it isn't just about this example of the money, guys. With these types, they're compulsive liars. And no matter what, everything is always your fault. And so many stories I've covered where guys have had a genuine issue with their girl, and they try to go to her and talk to her and communicate like a healthy adult, and she shoots him down every single time. Twists it around. It's his fault. He's the bad guy. That sound like love to you? No. Perfect example here. Next one. They'll separate you from your friends. Well, this is kind of like her trying to keep you away from your friends, but this is more in detail. Your friendships are manipulated. They will manipulate you by suggesting that your friends are not good for you and insist the narcissist, knows best, claiming the psychotherapist. They may even say your friend did something to them about you to get you to question your friendship. This tactic is intended to divide and conquer. They will lie about what people say about you until you no longer know who to trust. They act deliberately to distress and confuse you, insisted the expert here. Yeah, guys, this is a big, ugly one. And it relates to the one I said earlier, but to get more detail, they deliberately are fucking things up with you and your friends. And family, I might add. And they likely will meet with them and stir up a bunch of BS. And if they know that the guy has an attachment to this is on the basis of this narcissist is a woman here. By the way, guys can be narcissists too. Let me make that clear. They try to get in the way, and they'll try to sever ties to make that your friends don't like your girlfriend, and therefore the friends don't want to be around you. And if the friends bring up something about your girl, and then you bring it up to your girl, she starts crying and putting on the waterworks and makes you doubt them. All this manipulation tactics to get you isolated from them, that you're all alone, and then they have all the power over you. Seriously, this is what happens. And I think this is one of the last ones here. Your financial situation is abused. Oh, here's a big one. Financial abuse is not always identified in a relationship as being an issue. This is because the expectations for joint finances and the notion of a shared home. This specific type of abuse can involve restricting your ability to work, controlling the access to your bank statements, while demanding to see yours, and maintaining secrecy about their own finances. Well, how many times have I told you guys, your finances are your business. Period. And if you would only have a joint account as if you're married, and that's put in just enough to take care of the monthly expenses, nothing more. If you're married, we can go back and forth about her knowing what your assets are in your 401k or brokerage account and same thing with her, but still, that's under your control. And if you aren't strong enough as a man to say no, if you're just dating and you're not strong enough to say no, yeah, she's an a-hole, but also you're partially to blame here if you're not the one that can, say no. The narcissist's sense of entitlement leads to double standards. Regardless of economic status, wealth is used to exert control. They may use rage or righteous indignation to control you in response to your questions. And that is that is an abrupt ending to this whole thing. They didn't have anything else here, but the bottom line is, I did this because those are genuine things that you guys have probably heard lots of times in the stories I've covered. So you got to watch out. Men need to know these things. This stuff was never told to me when I was a kid. I never had my dad or anybody else sit down and say narcissist and teach me the shit people pull. And I've dated some gals that probably pulled varying degrees of some of this shit, but never like in an extreme in my life. And I certainly know what to look out for now. And I think a lot of you guys too, but holy cow. And again, like I said, I did this article here because it's one thing to have it come from like a guy, but to have it come from a woman whose profession is a psychotherapist, to know how people's mind works, and psychotherapists can really mentally fuck people. I thought it would be a good one to cover here. And so there you go, guys. You're walking away a little smarter here. Like I said, well, by the looks of her, I can only imagine the shit she can pull. All she needs, God, I'm going to hell. Man, all she needs is like a black robe and cloak hood over her head like Emperor Palpatine, and we got fucking Emperor Palpatine's sister here. But anyhow, guys, there you go. You're a little wiser today knowing about this type of stuff, or it's a refresher to all of you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you find a good article or personal story you want to share, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll most certainly cover it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.